Sanitizing within established radius.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Something vexing you, Captain?
What's on your mind?
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain. I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
Always imagined Fallbrook would be...
You seen Arthur today?
Nah, last time I saw him. Stars, I can't remember. Days.
You don't think he got crushed during the bridge collapse?
think I've figured out what you need.
Besides a smoke and some privacy?
Our crew's like a machine. All the parts got to work together.
Yes. Knock, knock.
Go away, White.
That's not how the game works. I say knock, knock. Like I'm on the outside of...
can we talk? You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs.
Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Hate to say it, but Halcyon's all... Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Hey, a job's a job, you know that. That's one of the things that makes you so easy to follow. Don't get ahead of yourself. I don't normally hand out compliments. A lot of folk expect some kind of soft-headed charity, especially with me being a sawbones, but you get it. I hear you there. You know, I'm thinking I ought to find another gig once this one's all done. One where I can really work on my own. Easiest way to take care of myself is to work with the one person. Anyway, enough chit-chat. I had a patient who went swimming at a place like this. Got eaten from the inside out by parasitic amoebas.
Mind your own business. Mind your own... Mind your own...
You'd think folks were pissing in the alleyways as bad as it stinks.
Oh, they are.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Max. Maximilian. Vicar. Vicky.
What?
Shoot, I forgot. It'll come to me.
Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we have successfully landed on Tartarus. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return. Understood. If you die or are incarcerated for life, Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison...
You're the backup, right? From Akande? These bloodthirsty sprat bags have no respect for the law. We're pinned down. Good. Came through a while ago, but we haven't heard from him or Adjutant Akande in too long. You've got to help us. Please, kill them. Summary justice for the whole lot. Their biometric ID? I could transmit it, but that'd be against Protocol 8. I'm never supposed to violate protocol. Never. All right, but if anyone gets on my case about this, I'm sending them straight to you. Got it? There. Data transmitted. Hope this disguise of yours works. Tartarus security out. Hang on. Is that another ship coming in? I think that's from the Groundbreaker. Cripes, did that Tennyson woman really send reinforcements? Between you and the Mardettes, we may be able to retake the docks.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. How can I be of assistance?
Captain did right by us once.
What's that noise?
Now it's ours. Forward! For Groundbreaker!
That?
Put him down!
What was that? What's that
Stay
noise?
down, hullhead. Mardet! Open! Wait. Under attack! Under Russia! Okay,
up the body. What was that?
What the?
Open fire! Great. Take him down! Gotta get down!
Whoa, hold on. Where'd you come from? You from solitary? Whoa. What was it like out there? Dang. Well, thank the Void we don't ever have to get us!
I never planned on seeing the inside of this place.
This might be the loneliest place in the whole system.
Nice of them to leave us a few options.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight!
Whoa, hold on. Where... Damn.
Take him down!
piss in it.
Bill, you're not shooting the chairman, and you're not pissing in his skull.
Come on, we'll never get this chance again.
Clearing queued security action.
I'm really doing this, huh?
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
When I pulled you out of the Hope, I never imagined you'd turn. We could... If you'd just listened to me, we could have rescued everyone on the Hope. We could have been the saviors of Halcyon. But you didn't listen. No one in this damn colony ever listens. Fighting back! I've released every prisoner in Tartarus. We'll take this prison over, or die in the attempt. We will not go quietly into the night. I'm wise to you and your silver tongue. You may have talked your way into the board's good graces, but I'm not about to fall for your rhetoric. I don't care how many guns you've brought. If you try and stop me, by law, I'll bloody your damn nose. I haven't lost yet. I've still got air in my lungs, I've got strength enough to fire a gun, and I've got Halcyon's great... Adjutant Akande is my captive. If I'm to die here, then she's coming with me. No, it won't change anything. We're plunging headlong into oblivion. If you insist on interfering, I will be forced to kill you, and I don't want that. I can't imagine we've got anything left to say. How would you know? You didn't spend your entire life working on this problem. I was never proposing revive. All we had to do was revive a few people on the Hope. Scientists, engineers, brilliant minds like you and I. If we can't think of a solution, they will. I don't know what else I can... My life's work has been an exercise in futility. The only honorable way to end it is to go down fighting. Surrender? Oh, I've had a bounty on my head for torture, execution. The board has already extracted the secret of reviving colonists from me. I'm no longer useful to them. No, I can't surrender. My life... Enough! I can't take any more of this. Yes, I failed. There, I've said it. I'm a failure. I failed the colony. I failed myself. I failed you. Congratulations. You've broken me. Does that put a smile on your face, you monster? The only thing I've ever wanted was your help. It's too late to help me now. The only thing left for you to do is forgive me. I'm sorry for all that I've done, and for what I'm about to do. So, I'm sorry about all this. Never mind.
Thank the law you're here. That madman was out of control. At least Wells did you the courtesy of saving you a bullet. I'll have one of my soldiers toss his body out on the surface. And what about you? You aren't hurt, I hope. Your confidence is well earned, Captain. I was right to place my faith in you. You've put down the worst riot in our history, rid the colony of a dangerous madman, and saved my life. The board owes you a tremendous debt. We don't have a moment to lose. We're gonna have to work together to save Halcyon, because the situation is far worse than you imagined. We've lost all contact with Earth. It's been 3 years since we've received a message. We've had no contact, no signals, nothing. Earth has gone dark. 2 years ago, the Earth Directorate's frigate disappeared en route to Earth. We don't know if they ever made it. We don't know if there's an Earth to go back to.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway.
Earth was more than just some distant colonial authority, Dr. Fenhill. Earth was our lifeline. And now, we've been cut loose.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
You sound frightened, Miss Holcomb. You should be. Fear sharpens the mind. We're alone, Captain. That's all I know for certain. Whatever happens to this colony, we're going to have to deal with it on our own. Returning to Earth is not an option. Yes, we do have a long road ahead of us. But I have faith in you. The service you've done for this colony is nothing short of extraordinary. You're the reason I'm still standing here today. The board will survive because of you. And as the board goes, so goes Halcyon. It's time we carried out the program. I trust I can count on your support, Captain. I'm pleased to hear that. The program is too important to hand over to the board's bureaucrats. That's why I'd like you to take the helm. I'll see to it that the Lifetime Employment Program operates under your supervision. We'll work together to save this. We're on our own now. Earth isn't...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The riots in Tartarus ended in a total victory for the board. Without any significant threats to challenge their power, the board asserted their control over the colony. The Lifetime Employment Program began immediately, and the people of Halcyon did exactly what they were expected to do. They obeyed. Sophia Akande converted the labyrinth from a prison to a processing center. She jettisoned the original colonists out of the Hope and transformed the ship into a massive storage facility. One by one, the workers of Halcyon surrendered themselves to the program. They arrived with their families and their friends, their colleagues and their neighbors, and then, one by one, they marched into their stasis chambers. As the workers of Halcyon slept in their hibernation chambers, their settlements became ghost towns, left behind by the board to be reclaimed by nature. Only Byzantium remained, a shining beacon of civilization in an otherwise abandoned colony. The people of Byzantium spent the rest of their days gorging themselves on their stockpile of resources. As for the workers of Halcyon, they never felt the effects of the collapse. They never felt anything at all. The board's focus on Byzantium closed the door on much of Sanjar's civil liberties movement. As the last few townships withered away, MSI had little room to grow. Ever the savvy businessman, however, Sanjar pivoted and established Stellar Bay as the colony's supplier of luxury seafood. Catering to the elite, MSI was allowed to continue operations as a member of the Halcyon board, and became more successful than Sanjar could ever have dreamed. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. Edgewater's cannery met its production quota for the first time in 3 years. As a result, the adjutant rewarded every worker in Edgewater with a place in the Lifetime Employment Program. Reed Dobson was granted 25 years in suspended animation. However, a computing error adjusted his duration to 250 years. A trouble ticket to resolve this error remains open. While the groundbreaker remained mechanically stable, the changing times forced Junlei Tennyson to make some difficult calls on behalf of her community. The work of maintaining independence was an uphill climb, and she found herself caving to bad faith compromises with the board. Time will tell if the groundbreaker can endure. As smaller settlements were swallowed up and their workers drafted into the Lifetime Employment Program, Byzantium continued to thrive. While its citizens lived in decadence and extravagance, a small cadre of scientists worked to solve the nutrition crisis that threatened Halcyon. No one else much noticed the townships that disappeared from the map, or the luxuries that slowly lost their luster year by year. Your influence further cemented Ellie's perspective. She understood she could never truly rely on others, so she set about making sure she wouldn't have to. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She enjoyed a long and infamous career running missions across the system. Some of them were even legal. As the board reasserted control over Halcyon, Felix came to realize that his life as an upstart rebel had come to an end. The board's victory crushed any hope for a grand revolution across Halcyon, and so Felix, once again, found himself without a purpose in life. And so, disillusioned with his former boss and with nowhere left to go, Felix left his crew without saying goodbye. He was never heard from again. As a reward for his part in her courageous rescue, the adjutant invited the vicar known as Max to become one of the leaders of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. Max eventually rose to the top, becoming the presiding bishop of the OSI. He denounced his spiritual meanderings as a misguided attempt to come to terms with his long-dead parents. His only regret was that they had not lived long enough to see that he was right all along. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. As the board began to roll out their Lifetime Employment Program, Parvati was increasingly plagued by dreams of freezing to death, and rarely left their shared quarters. Stymied by dwindling resources, Junlei struggled to keep the Groundbreaker afloat. Their relationship couldn't survive the strain. Parvati moved into crew quarters and found work servicing water pumps in hydroponics. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. Adjutant Sophia Akande was instrumental in executing the Lifetime Employment Program. While the rest of Byzantium celebrated, Sophia returned to work by partnering with you. The two of you worked hard to ensure the Lifetime Employment Program ran smoothly. With Halcyon's workers suspended in a state of hibernation, starvation and chaos are problems of the past. The Lifetime Employment Program succeeded in its goals, but that success came at a price. The Halcyon of today is nothing at all like the colony of yesteryear. Power remains concentrated in Byzantium, but all the colony's resources serve the lifestyle of the elite, thereby transforming Halcyon into one of the smallest and most exclusive colonies in the system. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? After the riots on Tartarus came to an end, you threw in your support with Sophia Akande. While Akande administered the board herself, you oversaw the Lifetime Employment Program, stamping out corruption and negligence. Under your leadership, the program ran smoothly. Halcyon's workers were treated with a modicum of dignity. Your involvement kept the board honest and allowed the board scientists to work without the meddling of bureaucracy. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the star? Why stay earthbound when
Nothing gets past you. You would have made a formidable constable. You tend to miss obvious cues, like incoming walls. I bet you're going to be very popular in this colony. Ooh, they must have been feeding you Spacer's Choice rations. I just hope your brain's quicker than your hands. Charismatic enough to give the chairman a run for his bits. You've got ice in your veins, and not just because you're frozen. I just hope your brain's quicker than your hands. You're easily brainwashed. Glad I found you before the board did. High blood pressure. Could keep you from blacking out at least. Nothing gets past you. You would have made a formidable constable. Oh dear. Did you actually punch out your anger counselor? A crack shot. Capital. I hear Monarch's in need of more game hunters. You could probably talk your way out of a landing ticket. At least you know the value of money. Can you hear me? Is this thing working?
Ah, you've landed good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. Bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Space. Hope you don't mind me omitting this. We were just barely scraped by with my life. Yes, nailed it.
Damage my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What is this?
Before you get yourself killed. Don't know where go. You know.
Here we go.
Dangerous for your health. Hello, please. I have been... This... I am incapable of... well, I have... What can I do for you? Goodbye.
Say, because... And if this ship is yours... Oh, but... Edge... Now if you...
Whoa, hey.
Please hold them. I need to explain this addressing the grease.